Now, I knew I didn't want to do a straight adaptation of Alice's Adventures in Wonderland. There have been so many over the years. Hi guys, girls, non-binds, welcome back to my YouTube channel. I am Leah Solmaz. Cheesy. I recently released my second animated short film, A Curious Night, and I thought I'd do a behind the scenes feature to go along with the release, because I'm like that. So yeah, my background is mainly an actor, filmmaker and writer, and animation is very much a new territory for me, but I'm very much enjoying it, and I have so many projects planned for the future that I cannot wait. Like I said, it's my second animated short film. I released my debut back in October of last year, Serial Pensioner. And yeah, using the two as a comparison, I can see how much I've already developed with A Curious Night. I'm not quite there yet, but it's a journey, you know, like most things. How did A Curious Night come about? Well, I knew I kind of wanted to delve straight into another animated project straight after Serial Pensioner. The same week I released it, I knew I kind of wanted to start something else. The protagonist of A Curious Night is actually Lewis Carroll, and I did base it on his Alice's Adventures in Wonderland. Now, I knew I didn't want to do a straight adaptation of Alice's Adventures in Wonderland. There have been so many over the years, and I've always had this affinity with Lewis Carroll. We do share the same birthday, so it could be something to do with that. Maybe, I don't know. I'm always fascinated by the people behind the stories, the ones who create them, and I wanted to kind of do a short film that kind of delve into the psyche of a writer as they conjure up a story. So that's how this came about. It does take certain... totally pulled my hair though. There are certain elements from Alice's Adventures in Wonderland, such as Alice herself. She only features briefly to offer the key to unlock Lewis's imagination. Yeah, where did I start? So with Serial Pensioner, that was actually written by Peter Germany, and the story was already set up, so I kind of just used his short story to create a storyboard, and yeah, I went straight into animating from that. With The Curious Night, however, I wrote the script first. I use cell text. I've used it for many years. It's just a basic script writing software. It's not one of the best by any means, but I mean, it's up to industry standards, I think. I more or less wrote these scripts in a night, probably like an hour. I didn't really do a second draft. I just kind of went with the first draft because I was just happy with it. I knew the story in my head, like I'd been kind of figuring it out for like a few days, and then I just kind of, that's how I write more or less in general anyway. I kind of work on the story mentally before I actually write it out. Then I went about storyboarding. Now, this is a very important part to the animation process. This is a very important part to the animation process. Yeah, it's a very important part to the animation process. It helps you visualising the actual story. Now, it's all good and well writing a script, but that's just the blueprint, and that's how it works with film as well. They are just the blueprint. In filmmaking, a storyboard helps to break down shots and to kind of plan those shots and how they look. That's it. What was next? And from storyboarding, I delved straight into animating. Now, I don't know if I do it properly. I'm still kind of learning, and I'm very much self-taught. So I do frame by frame animation. It's a very slow process. I know this, I'm learning this, but I just kind of work from first frame to last frame. Maybe in the future I'll kind of develop a bit more of a process where I kind of start with the middle of the story or something like that, similar to typical filmmaking. Yeah, I don't know, with animation, I just kind of seem to be working start to finish, sequentially. That's my sequentially gesture. So a few things I wanted to improve on from Serial Pensioner were motion in every single shot. There had to be some kind of motion. So in Serial Pensioner, there were so many like shots and things where the characters were very rigid and stiff, and yeah, it was just very static. So the whole point of animation is to make a static object move. That's kind of the magic behind it. That was the main goal with A Curious Night, to make every shot have some kind of motion within it. The art style I kind of struggled with, I think, and it shows as you watch the film. It does kind of progress and it gets a little bit better, I think, personally. So I knew I kind of wanted to make it a bit more stylized than Serial Pensioner. That was kind of a rushed job, in all honesty. Completely my own doing. I put these deadlines and things on myself, and yeah. So with the artwork in A Curious Night, I didn't want it to be too perfect, mainly because I'm learning that takes time. So every single, because I do frame by frame, that would take so much more time to try and stylize everything. But in the future I am looking to do that. I kind of have a few processes in practice to hopefully speed that along and make it look a bit better. So one particular shot in a serial, no, what am I talking about? Wrong film. Wrong film. So one particular shot in A Curious Night that was particularly, why can't I say that word? Particularly proud of was this shot. Now it's the pen rolling on the writing table, and an ink droplet falls and turns into a raindrop and lands on Lewis's boot. Now I was really happy with the style of it and how it transitioned. Now I know with frame by frame, because I am learning these things, it works best for kind of elemental elements. Let's roll with it. Such as water, fire, smoke. Yeah, it kind of works better for that. So even the water shots and things like that in A Curious Night, they work so well with frame by frame animation. The one thing that I am still struggling with is walk cycles and run cycles. Now, I mean, in a couple of the scenes, Lewis looks like he's staggering down the street drunk, and yeah, it looks like he's marching. And then one of my friends actually pointed this out in the running away from the Duchess scene. It looks like Scooby-Doo running. I mean, that's a bit of a compliment, to be honest, but yeah, I can kind of see that needs a lot of work. I've been watching a few tutorials on how to make walking cycles a bit more fluid, and hopefully I'll improve on that in future projects. Some of the animation techniques I used, so it was frame by frame, and when I say that, I mean every single zoom shot, every pan tilt, those were manually animated by myself. So I just kind of moved the frame a little bit, saved that, exported that, moved the frame a little bit more, yeah, and so on. The film worked out to be 818 frames. That was just kind of a lucky fluke that it fell like that. So it worked out to be about 10 to 12 frames per second, I think. Yeah, I was aiming for a 5-minute mark. Now it falls short by about a minute, and it actually worked out to be twice as many frames as Serial Pensioner. Like I said, I wanted more motion within the shots and things. Yeah, I'm kind of proud of it. So with these animated shorts, I am very much doing everything myself, from writing, animating, storyboarding, even the music. It's all very much new territory, but I really enjoy it. If you want me to kind of break down my processes in how I animate, I don't have any fancy equipment. It's literally like as old school as you can get, via digital means. My laptop is as old as the hills, and I think it's still operating on Windows 7. But yeah, maybe I'll go into a breakdown of the softwares and programs that I use in another video. But that's kind of the behind the scenes for A Curious Night, I guess. I don't know. Hopefully you all enjoy it. Do check it out, and yeah, give me some feedback. Validate my ego. No, hopefully you enjoy it. Like I said, I want to kind of entertain and inform on this channel, so hope I'm providing some kind of entertainment. I don't know. Yeah, for future animated projects and my how to draw tutorials that are coming slowly but surely, be sure to subscribe, guys, girls, non-binds. Anyone who's into animating, if you're an animator yourself, you know, drop some comments and yeah, share your projects as well. I'd love to see them and check them out. And I think that's it. Okay, bye. Oh God, my eyes weren't funny. It wasn't forced. I cannot talk. Oh my God. So, yeah. I don't know what I'm doing. I can just kind of overlay the script writing scene. Totally just said that, wow. I don't even know what take this is. Like take 5, maybe? I think it's take 5.